Okay, let's start today's training. Today's training's topic is about pass-through functions. I think it's very useful functions for our IoT products. It makes us more easy to monitoring and upgrade the PLC program. So today's training will be divided by these three parts. First part is for PLC pass-through. It's especially for serial port. And the second topic is for VPN pass-through, aka we also call it as WVPN. And the last part, I will introduce some quick fix for some common issues when you use PLC pass-through. Okay, for the PLC pass-through, it's based on normal communication when Webox and communicate with PLC. And we need to run VNet client on our PC. And when we start PLC pass-through, it will generate a virtual serial port, allow PLC program on the computer communicate with the PLC. And the complex functions like uploading, downloading PLC program, and monitor PLC programs. And when we log in our VNet client, we can click this icon. So when we here I use China server for presentation. There's a little issue here. There's some issue in the network. So it's okay. When we okay, so since something issue here in the network, so we can start here. When we click PLC pass-through icon, in the right side, we can see this interface. So it lists some important parameters here. Something like the communication port we used in the PLC and the virtual port number we want to generate. And the list options is for the communication serial port, like IS48422, IS485, or IS232. And the rest is the communication parameters, like boundary rate, stop bit, data bit, parity, priority. And when we first use these functions, we need to click new buttons. And then we can set these parameters. and click Save. When we finish the PLC pass-through configurations, we click Start Pass-through. So that it will, if your network is stable, it will promote pass-through successful. So later we will see the whole process. And there is one important thing for the virtual serial port. The port we set here mustn't conflict with other serial port which used by another program in our PC. So how can we check this? Right-click the Start menu, Start button in Device Management. We can see here is a port, and then we can see for now in my PC I only use COM2. This is also for the this program setting. So if we exist our VNet client, and you can see now no serial port. So if you used another software which use the COM port, you can make some adjustment here to choose a different port number. And please note when the port number is changed, if there is a PLC or another software connecting to the original COM port, it will be discontinued. Okay, let's see this one. For example, as you can see it here now, M0 control Y0. And when we need to set the parameter, we need to confirm, double check the communication parameters for VBox and the PLC. Click Edit to check the boundary rate, connection mode, and some other parameters. So click PLC icon, choose the device. If he's online, if the VBox is in online state, it will flash these parameters on the right side. Oops, sorry. Click New, we can add a new configuration. And also we need to make sure the parameters we set here is totally the same as the communication parameters. Click Start button. It will show the pass-through state. And now we can open the PLC software to test the communication. So here we choose serial connections, and for COM port, it's the virtual serial port in this lane. Then, as you can see, connection is successfully, so we can read the PLC program. After the PLC program is uploaded successfully, we can also switch to monitor mode. And also make some modification to the PLC project. As you can see now, I used a normally closed coin to control output Y0 now, not normally open. After download the PLC project again, we can re-upload the PLC project to check the modification. As you can see here, the program is successfully modified. So when we stop the pass-through state, the Webox will be restart. So just wait for seconds. Our PLC will be online again. So now when the M0 is on and the Y0 will be off. Okay, this is the first part for the PLC pass-through, which based on the serial port. Do you have any questions about this part? Okay, I think this part is very easy and basically not very too many error if your network is stable enough. And just notice that for these parameters, you just if the pass-through is failed, please double check these parameters. Okay, let's go ahead for the second part for VPN pass-through. VPN pass-through is based on the SNET port. So when we start VPN pass-through, our PC will replace the VBox to appear in the local network. So we can access any PLC in the same LAN, just like this picture. So also click the PLC pass-through icon and you can see the device list which support PLC pass-through. choose the device we want to use, and there is one options to switch DHCP or static IP. As I think I'm more recommended to use static IP because it will make the VPN pass-through more stable. And you just need to set the IP here, the SAN in the SAN segment as the PLC. And if you choose DHCP, it will generate IP based on the SNet configuration of the VBox. And please notice that if the VBox is not configured an SNet IP for one WAN port, the VPN pass-through will not be successfully established. And in many scenarios, VBox is online in a segment which set in one port, and when it communicates with PLC, we need to set the LAN port in the different segments. So in these situations, if we want to use VPN pass-through to access the PLC, we need to set the static IP here in the same segment as PLC, not the internet access network segments. So let's have a look for this video. As you can see here, I use SNet port to add two PLC address. When I triggered M1, the value of D100 will be changed. So we check the PLC IP here. The PLC IP is 192.168.67.29. So let's pin the PLC IP first. As you can see here, the pin is not successfully. And for the moment, our PC's IP is in 192 and 168.1 segments. And now we click VPN and set the static IP. So here I set the same segment 192.1.168 63 and 67.219. As you can see here, there is two connection type, TCP and UDP. As a recommendation, we better use UDP. It's also more stable than TCP. And then start pass-through. And we just wait for a while, and then we can, as you can see, the state is changed to VPN pass-through in. And now we can ping the PLC IP successfully here. Then we can also check the control panel. For this virtual network card, which created by our VNet client, you can see the address, IP address is just what I said here. And now we can open the PLC editor. Remember to choose this virtual card, virtual network card, and scan for our PLC. And wait for a while. The PLC program will be uploaded. The same as a PLC pass-through, via the virtual serial port, we can also monitoring the running state of our PLC program and make some modification. Also now for now, I want make when M1 is off, the D100 value will be changed. Download the PLC project again. And the PLC pass-through, so we can check whether the PLC program is changed. Just the same as and finish the PLC pass-through. When we end the VPN pass-through, our VBox will also be restarted. So as you can see here, when the trigger bit M1 is off, so now D100 value changed. Okay, for the moment, our R&D have already upgraded the VPN pass-through service in China server and Asian server. For the EU server, it will be upgraded after the migration for the EU server. Actually, for VPN pass-through, you need to also use exchange between. Okay. You mean you want to modify the PLC program when PLC communicate with Modbus TCP? Actually, our VPN pass-through just make the PC will appear in the PLC's network, and if we can ping the PLC IP, it means our pass-through is successfully. So it actually based on whether you can modify the PLC program just by the SNET connection. So if you can use PC to connect with PLC via SNET port and download the PLC project directly, you can also use the WVPN to make it. Do you have any other questions? Actually, this WVPN pass-through is also reliable for the PLC, different brand PLC software, their adoption for the virtual card. So let's let's move to the last part for some quick fix for common issues. First, we can see some difference between VPN pass-through and the PLC pass-through. For VPN pass-through, it based on SNET, and the PLC pass-through is based on serial port. And the very important things I want to mention here is for the networking method here. For PLC pass-through is not special requirements, but if you use VPN pass-through, please make sure you set the LAN IP, especially when the VBox is online via Wi-Fi or 4G, and for one port, uh, you can just set the one IP in the same segments with the PLC and just connect PLC SNET port to the one port. It's more reliable when you use PLC pass VPN pass-through. And for the advantage is the VPN pass-through is based support the data link layer protocols, so it can as long as PLC supports SNET communication and the SNET configurations, then all it can use this method to pass through, not just like the PLC pass through. If we can just communicate with the serial port, but we cannot download the project via this serial port, so the pass-through PLC pass-through will be failed. And some customers might face some issue when start VPN pass-through, especially our VNet client report failed to connect VPN servers. So please make sure check by these followings. The first is make sure the VBox and your PC's network is stable and have no limitations such as firewall or internet filtering rules. And then please make sure the VBox time is correct. For example, you can use this tool. So here, update time. And then check the Lua script. If the Lua script executes times too long, it might affect the PLC pass-through. And also you need to check the Webox firmware is it the latest version. And for troubleshooting in our PC side, we can check the running state for this virtual network card. And the first is to check the driver version here. This version 9.0.0.21 is used for our PLC VPN pass-through. If your PC have the same network card, which might installed by another software, please disable them. And also it's better to disable some other virtual network cards. We can check then in the control panel, network and the internet network connections here. As you can see, these two network adapter is created by another software. So when I used VPN pass-through, I usually disable them. Just leave the network connections and the virtual network created by our VNet client. And sometimes it might have some issues for this virtual network card. So you can refer this process to uninstall it. So open control panel, network and internet, network connections, double click this icon, this driver, and click config. Uninstall drivers. And basically, you can reinstall our VNet client to make the virtual network interface card installed again. Sometimes you can also use sometimes if the network card not successfully installed, you can use install it manually. The first step is to confirm VNet client installed path. For example, the default path is here, like this. You can also right-click, open file location, and you will show the files for the VNet client. And then just check your Windows operation system version. For example, most of us is used 64 bits systems. So run the command prompt as an administrator. So you can enter these two commands to install the virtual network card. So as you can see here, just when you enter these two commands, you will install the network card successfully. Here is promote. And some other I want to introduce some other way to check the VPN port is enabled or not in your PC's network and also Webox network. So the first step is to enable the Windows features Telnet client. And for example, if you use Asian servers, you can use this command, telnet ext dot asia dot vbox dot net, and some other port number here. For example, sorry, telnet ext asia dot vbox dot net 8899. So when the network is not limit this serial list port, when we click Enter, press Enter, it will show like this. So it means this port is open. But if it brought another and disabled, this is stuck like this. And the probe could not open connections to the host. Port connection failed, something like this. You need to check with your IT department whether this port is enabled. For the moment, its limit is for 2 hours, but this policy will be changed later. We will inform when it changes. But basically, we only recommend to use VPN pass-through just for upload and download the PLC program, not for any other usage, because it's not very stable when you use it for remote monitoring or some else applications, and you will occupy the server's network resource. So we don't recommend it to use it very long time. Yes, the same for PLC pass-through. 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay, do you have any other questions or do you have any other feedback for recently VPN pass-through or PLC pass-through issue?